What's going on? You already know what it is, man. For the love of wrestling, we're back with another week. Seems like y'all very much enjoyed our first ever top 10 flowchart episode. We had a lot of people going back and forth. Shout out to one of my boys, podcast legend killer, aka Eddie Betancourt. Always down for freaking constructive wrestling conversation. I saw he was going back and forth in the DMs. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, we're back this week, and no, we didn't forget about the women, man. We said we were going to be doing the top 10 women, but we're going to leave that for the end. I imagine we'll probably be talking about that a little bit, but I mean, we got to talk about the big news. There's a lot of stuff coming out of this week. Not a whole lot of wrestling news per se, like, you know, as far as like, I don't want to say anything good, but it's just been a lot of kind of negative this week.
You're not going to talk about Kofi getting knighted? Come on.
Oh, you mean the hand, the royal hand of the king? Yeah, I mean it was all right.
That's big wrestling news.
Well, you know what? News. Like the biggest news is the fact that Roman wasn't on SmackDown, but he's gonna show up for the dark match.
Word.
Like I'm not gonna lie. So I watched SmackDown like in pieces, right?
Yeah,
and then I'm like trying to like, you know, I fast forward a little bit, backtrack a little bit. Then I'm also watching, like, sometimes I stop on that and I watch on a different platform.
Yeah.
And I was like, did I miss Roman? Like, did I do that?
I did the same thing.
Because when I saw it was the tag match at the end, I wasn't mad at it because I always love a good Usos New Day. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was like thinking the same thing. I'm like, he doesn't make one appearance. I'm like, I guess there wasn't anything pressing from last week where he needed to like. He didn't need to answer a challenge or nothing. He didn't need to set nothing straight, like, you know. But then again, I think last week he got beat up by. No, he didn't get beat. Well, he did, but he didn't. Like that's when the whole Brock thing happened, right? And then
the little blow off.
Man, yeah. Let's talk about that. So, are we about to see the heel turn coming from Adam Pearce? Are we getting a new authority figure? Is that what we're doing here? Not that I want to see it. The reason I asked is because he was
a little vignette.
I mean, bro, why you at home and he ain't even at the building? Now you looking super scared, like, you know what I mean? And
yeah, he don't want to get hemmed up again.
Like before, he grabbed me by my collar. I can't breathe. Like, nah, bro. Like, because when he's sitting up there saying I don't have a choice, that's one thing because you're being handed down this order to execute, right? I get it. But then now you're making it super. You're like, oh, now we're gonna do the Dr. Evil joint and just $1 million from a remote location. I was just like. In my head, when he was about to say the amount, I'm like, he probably gonna charge him like $250,000 or something like that, something crazy. And then when he said $1 million, I'm like, yeah, you just killed kayfabe with that one, bro. No one believes that y'all gonna find a wrestler $1 million. Like, does it happen in other sports? Does it happen in other sports? Right. Yeah, depending on what's going on. But nah, bro, it's never like what is this? Like they're trying to keep him in jail.
Like he should have said, like, we're going to suspend your contract or something like that, which is up to $1 million. So make it where he
won't get paid. Like yeah. If it was a suspension without pay, that's different. Yeah, because we all know how much.
With like a million cap.
But at the same time, even if you don't understand the ins and outs of that, you understand from a fan standpoint that they pay a lot for Brock to be there. So if they're going to take away some of that money, you know, theoretically, it makes sense. 100%.
They should have said, look, we haven't paid you for that Saudi bag yet. And we'll hold it if you start tripping again. Okay,
so they saying that I was going to say they saying it like that he didn't just make a bag, like he didn't just make a bag in one night at Saudi. Yeah, you're right. Like that's like going
he probably spent $1 million just to go to Saudi.
Bro, like like on me, that's like walking up to Mayweather and being like, yeah, we're gonna have to find you $1 million. He's gonna be like, all right, which bag do you want it from? Like which bank do you want me to pull it out
Brock
of?
Brock Lesnar probably lives on a barn in Canada that he paid in cash full, and he probably drinks water out of a well. His electricity is sold. Like it's not like he's good. He's saving his money. Like his kids could go to 7 different colleges.
Not only that, he's like, dude, you know, I hope you know I still got all the sale money from that Sable Playboy chilling in the basement. You know, Sable was still bringing in that guap. It's like, I mean, like I don't know.
It's not like he has a penthouse in Manhattan.
Yeah, where he's like,
good.
yeah, the monthly. The monthly payments is ridiculous, right? Like you're like, dude, you're hemorrhaging money.
They need to hit him where it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
They need to hit him where it hurts and be like, yo, we're gonna confiscate all your bootcut jeans and we're taking all your belt buckles,
all your no more flannels in this bitch. Matter of fact, now you're officially a vegetarian. Nope, no more homemade beef jerky. Nope, we ain't doing the slaughterhouse shit. Nope, can't do it.
Nope,
can't do it. Nah, it was like Smackdown felt kind of weird to me. In a way where because I didn't see I didn't get to acknowledge the chief, you know what I'm saying? I need to acknowledge my chief. It was weird. He wasn't there. But they did some good things. I'm never ever a fan in fact next to the 34th Miracle on 34th Street fight, which is probably my top most hated gimmick fucking match, is the Trick or Treat street fight. I hate that fucking shit. Hate it. Never.
You hate it more than the Thanksgiving one?
Did they do a Thanksgiving one?
The Thanksgiving one gets pretty bad. They
what
do
is
like one where like they haven't done it in maybe a year or so, but like they used to have, you know, like gravy and stuff.
Oh yeah. Didn't they do that thing before where you had, or maybe that was Impact, where they had a match where the loser had to dress up like the gobbledygooker. They had to like put on the turkey suit and shit. I think that may have been an Impact, but I mean, I was gonna say that they usually have that food fight, but then now I think about it, that's like that 4th of July shit. I don't know, man.
They do that for everything. They repeat it.
Anything with food, right?
Yeah, anything that has to do with food, they'll do it. Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, oh, it's the Easter bunny match, and then
it's the Easter. Yeah, like it's
chocolate.
It's candy corn chaos. Yeah, it's stupid. I don't know. I'm like, dude, just leave it. Just leave it alone, bro. Just leave it alone. But outside of that, I did enjoy the Usos and the New Day interacting again for the first time in a while. But also one thing. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's a little odd though, because like as much as there's never been like an Usos New Day rivalry that I didn't like, but it's also like there's a lot of new faces. And
I felt like
Big E's on SmackDown where with Roman Reigns or anything. It's not like you have to build this rivalry between two factions. Like they could have waited on this.
You know what? I didn't think about that part, because I'm not even like associating Big E with it because he's on the other show. But no, that is a good point, because to be honest, like I felt like it was, okay, I haven't seen this in a while. It felt more like a safe move storyline wise, because they know that they'll always get gold off of it. But to your point, there is a lot of new people that they moved over just for us to see the same feud that we've seen before. So,
Survivor Series is coming up. Maybe I'm underthinking it.
No, I mean, I'm still trying to figure out how they're going to pull that off. Yeah.
You know what happened? They tricked you. See, Survivor Series is coming up, but you're so used to it being brand supremacy that we didn't even realize they could fight each other at Survivor Series, and it makes sense.
Well, but dude, I would prefer it.
They're on the same show.
I'd prefer it, bro.
Because
stupidity. Like, are you talking about New Day and Usos is what you're talking? Because I was gonna say if each show had their own Survivor Series elimination match, I'd be more into that than I would for the brand
Survivor Series.
Because it's made to get the younger guys over, bro. Like that's I remember it was DX, the Hardy Boys, and CM Punk. Like, bruh, that's a dope ass team against I think who was the Spear Squad or the ECW originals and shit. Like,
if they wanted to, go
ahead.
No, yours is more important.
I was just gonna say it's made to like you frame a team around a new young face. And then you're supposed to help them kind of get over, but like they've lost. Yeah, it hasn't been that in a while. The last time I was excited about Survivor Series is when NXT was part of it, but that ain't ever gonna happen again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was dope. And then the last one, another one was good was if the Authority lost, they would have to.
That's the one with Sting. Sting showed up, right?
Yeah,
was that 2016?
Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, Dolph Ziggler made the.
That was a great spot for him, but they did nothing.
The story
with
didn't
it
last long after.
Yeah, they didn't.
The story didn't last long.
They did nothing with it afterwards. Like, and that's kind of like the story of his career. Is like they like to give him a moment, and then they never plan what happens after. Like they're just like, oh, we got him there, so fuck it. That's it. Like,
if I were to put my fantasy booking hat on to make
so wait, what hat is that on? What hat do you have on now?
This is my top 10 women's list hat.
Oh, okay. That's a debut. That's a debut, ladies and gentlemen.
To have brand supremacy without affecting your card necessarily in terms of your show, like taking a week off. Oh, there it is. Why don't you have 2 5-on-5 teams from each show face each other, and the winners of that match on Survivor Series? So those are like the first 2 matches of the night. The winners of those matches, the Raw one and the Smackdown one, face each other at the end. So
I mean, I wouldn't mind if they even meant if they made it mean something, where maybe not the same night, but say the winning team could be in contention for some titles. I don't know how they break it down, but
what you're saying is they need a new pay-per-view where it's all just like gangs versus gangs, factions versus factions, and because it's a tournament of gangs, and because
gangs of New York,
because WWE likes to catch on to stuff late and culture vultures sometimes, they can call it WWE gang.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say. But you already know
a whole lot of gang shit.
but let me add. You know who would be the host of that first ever pay-per-view? Would be Hit Row, right? it would have to be Hit Row.
They'd be the host, but
they're gonna be doing too much. Gang.
It would only work though if Vince McMahon's the one who announced it, though.
Well, I was gonna say, if not him, I gotta hear Michael Cole. It's gang time.
Don't bang.
Like, no, it's not gang time, Michael Cole. Gang.
Pat.
He's like, damn, that's some gang.
Taking like 45 minutes. Pat would be like, welcome to WWE gang.
Dude, all right. First of all, you already heard him. You already heard him on SmackDown. Right in the beginning, he said they're going one-on-one, or they're gonna go against them Island Boys. I was like, damn, he this guy don't miss. Like he on that topical shit. Like I was like, damn, I just saw this 2 days ago. It's like, god damn,
Jesus.
There's nothing but a whole lot of gang shit. Yeah, I love that. And then you know what? Then we also get the return of D-Rag Vince, and it makes sense now. You know what I mean?
D-Rag Vince,
and then a special appearance by JTG, Crime Time. You know what I'm saying?
You get Hit Row. I was gonna say you get Hit Row. Just have their own conversation with Vince McMahon walking by, and then Vince McMahon's the one who's like, he did not just say that.
He did not just.
Like
that'd be so hilarious. Like you get like we can get Shawn Michaels back to start speaking jive again back in his DX stepdaddy days. But
and you can have a celebrity coach Snoop Dogg for SmackDown and Lil Wayne for Raw.
Has Snoop paid for his AEW sins yet? Is that a good thing? I mean, I guess they keep playing his music for Sasha.
Maybe SmackDown loses and he gets stomped out, and that's it.
Or in a twist, West Side Gun is going to appear.
He could be the ring announcer for the whole night.
That'd be just, oh man, yo, gang, let's do it. Book it. I want to see that instead of gang instead of Survivor Series. Let's do it. One thing I don't think
AEW could counter that.
Nah,
AEW can't counter that.
They can't. I was like, but we have blood and guts, but they got gang. It's like, but we got
the WWE
coming up.
is so shameless. The WWE is the only shameless promotion that could pull this off.
They would. I mean, dude, I put it like this. They put out a pay-per-view back in the day called Beware of Dog. And it was only because they had British Bulldog in the main event. And outside of the UK, not a main event guy. So they've shown that they'll put money up for some shit.
Fire?
Oh, fuck. I wish I didn't. The only reason why I choose to remember is because of the Brock versus Samoa Joe. But why am I the only one having to tell people and show people? I'm like, y'all realize they just bit off the entire Fast and Furious font and gave y'all Great Balls of Fire. Yeah. And everyone's looking at it like, oh shit. I'm like, bruh. I was like, it looks like a movie logo. Like, what are you talking about? But yeah, one thing I did want to point out for SmackDown that I thought was great. Shotzi Blackheart. I mean, they had her turning heel.
Mm-hmm.
They gave her a lot of time to turn heel too. I didn't know what it was at first, because it's weird. Like, Sasha comes back to insert herself in the Bianca Becky shit. She wants her title back. She's coming off like a heel, but then now they got her in a spot against like Charlotte, where like it's like they're trying to make her a face, but she's still doing the ha 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 ha, like the heel laugh that I fucking hate that she does. But it's like, but it works. It works, right? And then, but then like when Shotzi's like getting mad at her for like being in her business, then she's getting booed for it. I'm like, bro, but she's not a face. Like, is she? Like, technically, Sasha still hasn't made the full turn yet, but I don't know. It was other than her getting booed, which I guess that was the desired reaction. It seemed a little bizarre, but that's all I really got for SmackDown, man. I mean, obviously on the tails of talking about that segment, I mean, I guess we'd have to really break down the whole Charlotte Becky situation right now. What the fuck? Like, I mean, we talked about last week the title exchange, and that turning into a heated exchange, and then things were talked about as far as confrontations happening behind the scenes. There was even news that Sonya Deville had even got involved to the point where she felt like she wanted to get in a fight with Charlotte herself. They also had a whole entirely different argument earlier in the day. People are already saying that, you know, Charlotte had to get escorted out by security, which I think that's, I mean, me and Mac were saying, I think that may be a little bit blown up. Like, I mean, I'm sure whenever you have two heated parties, and I mean, especially if Charlotte's done for the night and she got nothing else, she's not featured for the rest of the program. It's like, yeah, let's just get her out of here, right? Let's just prevent anything, you know? But there is a lot of stuff coming out about, you know, the way back to the Nia Jax stuff that we had talked about at one point, and that whole shoot stuff, and people just thinking that she is
that's still match of the year.
It's still match of the year, you know, but a lot of people have just been talking about they feel like she's been using her star power to kind of maintain her status, which I said to Mac about this. I'm like, that's not new. Like, I mean, not directed entirely at her, but anybody. And that's in any genre, any type of form you're in of entertainment. Like, it's a competitive based situation. Obviously, it's a little bit different because wrestling is not like everything else. But, bro, like, I mean, it's nothing new. Like, the fact that people are making a big deal about it when that's all guys like Ric Flair, her dad, obviously, but guys like Flair, Austin, The Rock, fucking Stone, Triple H, even Hulk Hogan. And I don't like to say his name, but these are all guys that did that. You know what I'm saying?
Like, protecting their spot. Like,
yeah. Admittingly, you know, I mean, even Stone Cold has said, like, dude, like that DTA, yeah, it was a cool t-shirt, but that was for real. It's like, he wasn't, you know what I mean? He was just that whole paranoia of trying to stay on top. It's, like, I mean, it's kind of part of the business for certain people.
Walking out when you're supposed to put Brock Lesnar over, stuff like that, you know?
You know what I mean? Just taking your ball and going home. You know what I mean? Just
technically
just legendary shit
too.
Yeah, you know, except you know, the difference is he got fired on his wedding day, so you know, I think he got a forgiveness.
So it's not exactly the same.
But
I guess the difference between CM Punk and the others is that for the most part, the WWE kind of backing people somewhat, like Charlotte and Stone Cold and Hulk Hogan and all them in the back, whereas they just didn't back CM Punk.
Yeah, they it'd be like
they might disagree, but they at least
they weren't like, this is our guy, but this is more, oh, this is the needle pusher, we need to keep this guy. But with the Charlotte stuff, it's weird, man, because as much as the negative out of it that we heard, I did hear also though that the Monday before Crown Jewel, which is, you know, something I was saying, her and Bianca had a great match, and I just like, dude, why didn't they just have Bianca take the match? It helps take the belt off of Charlotte, who's on SmackDown, and brings the belt back to Raw, where Bianca got drafted to. And yeah, she can go into Crown Jewel as a champion already, but then that means she cannot take the pin and protect herself as well. But we found out Charlotte was campaigning for that. Exactly. felt like the loss to her with the inconclusive, with the chair shot and all that shit after a great match, she felt like it hurt her. It was a great opportunity for Bianca and her character and a big win for her, but she felt like them booking it the way they did was stupid. And the only reason I bring that up is I feel like that's important in the sense of Charlotte is also thinking, yeah, she's thinking about Bianca, but she's also thinking that's the better and way how to make the title still mean something instead of just fucking passing it across the table to somebody else and say, hey, you want to switch up? Because it is kind of insulting when all you have to do is like trade titles and then that counts as a new title reign, right? Like
because it's because they're different colors. Like
it's like
right?
I think the reason why if this was a totally shoot based situation, you couldn't do that where there's already contenders lined up, right? So it's like you'd be
There'd
already
be no reason to.
Yeah, like they would have. I mean, it's just if I was like a number 1 or number 2, I'm like, yo, why the fuck did she didn't even earn that shit? Like, if anything, I should fight her, or I should fight the champ, bring the belt back. You know what I mean? There's so many other different ways to do it. So
that's the only way you do it. If in boxing, if there's 2 belts that for whatever reason are from 2 different promotions, the only way is for these 2 dudes to fight and somebody gets both. And then everybody contends for that. That's the only way to do it. And you don't just be like, you want to switch?
The thing is,
right? Like
Survivor Series is coming up too. You could have booked winner gets both belts.
Yeah.
And then I forgot who did. Was it Becky Lynch who was the Becky 2 belts? She went on both shows to defend the titles for a month, right?
Yeah, she did it, and Bailey did it too, didn't she?
And that's what the thing is.
No, that was the tag belt. You're right. Yeah, my bad.
The titles need to be, although like they're part of a show, the titles still need to be attached to the show. I don't know if this is making sense, but I'm trying to say is like it doesn't matter who's on your roster. It depends on who is your champion.
Yeah.
So like if Charlotte is the Raw Women's Champion and she's now on SmackDown, although she's on SmackDown and she's going to make appearances on SmackDown, she still needs to be on Raw until she loses that title, even if it takes fucking 6 months.
Yeah.
Same
like
thing with Becky. And the thing is, and the USA Network and Fox, I'm sure would love to have both these women on both shows defending those titles, even if it means that maybe one title's, and then you could have this like competition between Becky and Charlotte on which title means more because they're both being defended on each other's shows.
Well, mine's red. Well, mine's blue.
It's like the SmackDown titles. No, it's the Raw titles. Blah blah blah. And they could have made this into a much cooler thing.
Yeah,
or you just have Bianca win and you have Sasha win and Crown Jewel.
That's why. And then especially if there's already some weird stuff going on with Charlotte, have her take time off after that. You know what I mean? Like. I mean, you hit the nail on the head, right? Like they could have really done this in a way better way, which is why I can't fault Charlotte for, the report is early in the day, she had some issues with the way this segment was going to go and how it was going to make her look. Though, and that's what the people keep centering her around is they focus on, how she's going to look. I'm like, no, I mean, her being a champion, she definitely is fair in her right to have that concern because this is stupid. This is stupid as fuck. Not to say she's not thinking the same thing for Becky, but if the rumors about how their issues have been kind of going up and down, I mean, then no, she's not going to, she's looking out for herself. It's about her career, right? I mean, but like that's why I can't fault that. But the only thing I could only take fault with Charlotte for was the throwing down of the championship. That I wasn't cool with because it
didn't feel right.
I'm nobody, but from a fan standpoint, and I grew up obviously watching wrestling for like most of my life. That's a no, man. Like, regardless of what you think you're adding to the segment, like you throwing down a championship, you're just showing everybody what you think of that championship. You know what I mean? You're kind of like you're putting heat on yourself for the women in the back that haven't even had the championship yet, and they're watching you throw it on the floor. And I had a similar sentiment. I can't remember who it was, but it was a couple months ago. somebody threw the WWE championship on the floor, and I was just like, "What the fuck are we doing, dude?" I was like, "Come on, man!
Yeah,
You
I
gotta
always
be."
felt like wrestling
there
has
is
a
a
lot of unwritten rules, but
Yeah, exactly. And I get
like
like it's
baseball.
tradition, all that,
But
but
no, but
exactly. Yeah.
that's one that I kind of roll with. It's kind of like imagine if after imagine if there was pictures of like Kobe backstage hugging the O'Brien trophy and then just being like, all right, and just
Yeah.
tossing it to the
Just
like
side.
tossing
Just
it.
like,
funks on the
oh
ground.
shit.
Right? Like it's just a matter of respect and being out, like the bigger picture is you're you, but you're representing the company. You know what I mean? So it's
I
like,
want to ask I want to ask you about this real quick though, like because there is wrestlers that on purpose for their character do things that are considered unwritten rules, right? Just to kind of get themselves over. So like Naito on New Japan, his gimmick was throwing the belt in the ring.
yeah.
And like just tossing it
Mhm.
and like kind of carrying it like he didn't give a damn, right?
Yeah, because
Like
I was gonna
he knew he
say
was good enough to have it, but
it's a thin line because Stone
like
Cold
he
did the
just
same
didn't.
thing, right? Stone Cold would kind of just drag
The
it
way
behind
Stone
him.
Cold used to just yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
But I think you can
The
tell when
Rock
it's a
kind of dragging
character.
it on the
it's
ground a
fucking
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah,
And then
exactly.
like
Yeah, he just
You
like
can
just
tell.
flips it
It's a
up. Yeah,
difference when because they're doing it like I know you guys know this is disrespectful and I'm being disrespectful on purpose.
yeah.
But the way she tossed it, she wasn't trying to make her character
Nah,
more heelish.
there's a
She was just
difference.
mad at the situation.
There's a difference between what she did and what Shane Douglas did and threw down the NWA championship and introduced ECW. That was a statement
Mhm.
being made because that was a planned thing. And yeah, the disrespect was planned too for the sake of the fallout, the impact of the statement being made. This,
Right.
I didn't like it at all. And you could tell, obviously, Becky took umbrage with it. And I mean, I would argue that I'm not the biggest Becky fan right now. I love Becky. Like humble beginnings, love Becky. But then I ain't gonna lie, after they had her come back and do what she did to Bianca, I just kind of been like, like, you know what I mean? Just that's just been me. And maybe it's just I haven't been able to warm up to her because she's been totally heel. So last time they tried this, she couldn't
She's
get
been
booed.
wearing big fur.
Yeah, I mean that's the
Big
thing. It's like
fur.
last
Big
time they
fur.
tried, she couldn't get booed. They just kept cheering her too much. So but I say that to say that
Oh shit.
I feel with I can sympathize with Becky for her being mad about the situation too. But it's crazy. I guess the other thing, the latest thing is I guess on top of all the other things, people have been taking umbrage with her backstage mainly because of her wrestling style, is what I read today. Because they were saying, how is she a heel, but she gets to do these flashy moves like a baby face, like the dives and like the moonsault and shit.
she
And
shouldn't be doing that shit anyway. She's gonna bust her knee,
dude, like it's
Like,
it is one of those things I worry about. But even I mean, she does the one that Andrade does, like the double jump moonsault where she hits it off the top.
And it's
Big move.
not nearly as
No,
clean.
no,
Jesus.
no, not
So funky. Stop doing that.
yeah. It was like, all right, are you there? Okay, and back roll. yeah. Yeah, but
she has the
yeah,
same body type as Kristaps Porzingis, so it's hard to like.
I was
make
gonna say
somebody
like, yeah, we got. I mean, I was gonna say like, we got Dirk Lewinsky. We got Dirk Lewinsky. Dirk Lewinsky doing backflips, just like damn. Like to me, that's like if like Rhea Ripley tried to do it back. He owned it. He's like, yes. But yeah, so a lot of the talent are like, they're like, oh, it's hard to get over her as a face when she's doing these moves. And I'm like, I don't know. I can't put that on. I can understand where you're coming from. Traditional tropes. Why is she doing these flashy moves when she's supposed to be a heel? But she's a Flair. So Flair's kind of, they do it with Flair. I mean, it's in the shirt, right? But I don't know. A lot of people are already like, oh, she's going to AEW. I'm like, how? How? Like she I think she has what, 2 or 3 years left on her contract. So
She might let her
I don't know,
contract
man.
run out though. She'll let it go to the 11th hour though. I really do think that. But I honestly don't know if, like, for example, the WWE has one minor leverage, and that is if you want to break your dad's record, you have to stay.
It's like, do you want your
And
dad?
I think,
Do you want your dad's woo back? Do you want him back in the intro?
Yeah. Yeah, like
Man.
they're gonna get her to like probably 14 or 15 reigns, and then it's like, all right, your contract's up. Are you coming back for your
See,
16th? Or
but the thing is, but now she has the advantage though, because if she leaves, she'll get work. She hasn't done anything. She hasn't called anyone an she didn't get an N-word pass from anybody. You know what I'm saying?
she hasn't hung out with Moose.
In fact, she's engaged.
We didn't talk about that on the show. That was before the show.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, everyone's
I forgot. I forgot. We totally didn't bring that up. I'll tell you, that was before. So we were talking about Moose earlier and Tessa Blanchard and Moose essentially giving her an N-word pass. So that's why I brought that up. But the reason I say that is Ric Flair wasn't a 16-time world champion all in one company. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Charlotte can leave and still win a championship somewhere else. I mean, it'd have to be somewhere other than Impact because I'm not going to recognize that shit. But yeah, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it real.
The WWE wouldn't recognize it though. The WWE wouldn't recognize it, and I do think like
it's. I mean, but is
I
that
feel like that's where
is that an end all be all? Because I mean, like they're weird. Like Ric Flair has way more than 16, but they only recognize a certain amount because they don't.
He has like 54. Like he's
like
won some weird ass titles.
Yeah, because they were like, well, this isn't important. This doesn't exist in our universe, so we're not gonna count that one. Like it's weird, dude. But I mean, I don't think she's gonna go anywhere, to be honest. The only reason why I think she would be at the end of her contract just to be with her man. And the reason I say that's because actually, who knows? Because I reported on the Quincy Jones show because we, there were so many, there's a lot of mystery surrounding the Andrade situation with AEW. Come to find out that he has a 3-year contract with them. But I mean, that's about the same amount of time that Charlotte has left. So, pretty interesting.
I think she could be in AEW and be a fucking rock star.
The money is not the problem. Yeah. She can get 100% paid. You know what I mean? But does she want to be there? How much are any of the issues that people are already associating and attaching to her now going to be anything that's going to happen over there? Is she going to come in too big for her bridges? Is she going to come in thinking she knows everything? Is she going to come in humbled? Like, that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, because I'll say like the ball is in the WWE's court too, because not only does I'm sure Charlotte want to be the top person in her division, but her division still needs to mean something.
That's what I was going to say too. Yeah.
Because if they don't care about the women's division, if the women's division doesn't matter, and she feels like she's already done everything there, she has double-digit title reigns. Go to AEW and hang out with your husband for a year or two, and then I'm sure,
and then go to WoW.
You're a big enough star too that you could go back to the WWE whenever you want. They'll take you back
100, and that's why I feel like too. So if she wanted to step away for whatever reason, I mean, dude, like y'all, like if they were to actually hold that against her, it's like y'all let Kurt Angle do it and come back. Y'all let the Dudley Boys do it and come back with TNA. I'm saying, and I mean Christian Cage, Booker T, like Kevin Nash, like a bunch of guys that went over there and did that. Because you guys either didn't have anything for him at the time or released them and they needed to still make money. And then, they were able to come back. I mean, I would hope that they wouldn't hold it against them. But then again, they keep saying, oh, they can do their thing. We don't look at them as competition, but we're going to keep looking at their fast national info and leak that shit. So I don't know, man. It's super weird. But, to the next thing, which is another thing that's been big in the news lately is the Ring of Honor situation. I mean, at first, when I was talking to Mac Lowe about this on the Quincy Jones show, we just didn't. I mean, it was so fresh. We just didn't know what the root of the issue was. It seems obviously financial, based on the statement they gave, saying that they, the next couple of months are going to reimagine and recreate and all these words, something, you know what I mean? And it seemed like they were just like, we got to refigure our financial status and how we're going to be able to kind of keep things going. Because to release everyone from their contracts, that's crazy. Yeah, man. Never been really done before. The only details we have about the contract thing is while they are released from their contracts, they do have 2 final obligations, one being Final Battle, the pay-per-view they usually do in December. And I don't know if it's an obligation more so than they're just going to do the show and try to see who they can reach out to. But they usually do the Supercard event the same weekend as WrestleMania. And, it's a huge buy rate for them in terms of attendance and commerce in the area. So I'm not surprised if they still want to try to pull that off. I just don't know if they're going to be having the same semi quote unquote contracted people to try to fill up the spots. But the more important thing that I read is that they're actually already immediately able to go work for or take work and get work with other companies right now. I don't know if that means they're able to sign a contract. But I know that there's a lot of people already that got a lot of indie work. Like Dalton Castle has an appearance. There's a few other people I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, man, it's kind of crazy. I mean, one thing me and Mac were talking about is just like the litany of people, like even in WWE right now, currently, but then also before then, people that came in through the ROH system, and a lot of people would say
like every other NXT champion.
Bro, yeah, I was gonna say the NXT guys. I mean, you got AJ Styles, who obviously cut his teeth there. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, Samoa Joe, even what's
Seth
the
Rollins.
boy from the NXT UK? Oh man, is blanking on me, but he does the commentary. Used to be Desmond Wolf. I forgot what his actual name is. People are hating me right now. They're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it's like
Nigel McGuinness.
Yeah, there we go.
Man, you guys are great help. I love you guys. But yeah, it's just a lot. It's a lot of guys. Briscoe brothers. You know what I mean? Leo Rush, who he's on AEW now. Like Damian Priest or Punishment Martinez. It's crazy because this always served as like this platform to create or otherwise host household names. And I mean, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, like these are guys that are, you know what I mean? Without Ring of Honor, who knows if we would even see them today. So it is unfortunate. I mean, one thing I did say on the show before was I hate to look at it as just like another place that the boys were able to work, but that's not necessarily it's not undersold that way because it was great. Obviously the last coming years you can kind of see I don't want to say the painting or the writing on the wall because I didn't see this coming at all. But when I would tune in to the shows, you would see, low audience. And I don't know if that was because of state regulations and stuff like that with COVID. So who knows? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but like when AEW started, you could tell ROH kind of just was like, they used to be the feeder to WWE. And then now it's like everyone who's an indie star is somewhere else. And you could just tell ROH was like, yeah, we got a handful of guys. And then they had Marty Scurll for a while, but that situation was that situation. So it's like they lost their big time name.
Their golden gooses, yeah. And, I mean, they had like a guy like Jay Lethal still, can open doors with what he's doing. Obviously, Briscoe brothers. I mean, not WWE doors, but people will be definitely interested to have these guys. You know what I mean?
But like Sinclair didn't take advantage of having the elite for the mid 2010s or whatever.
They did and they didn't, but I don't know if that's necessarily it isn't their fault because obviously that came with the partnership or working relationship, whatever you want to call it, with New Japan at the time. But after a while, I don't think it's soured. I think there was just they were just kind of up and down with everything. I mean, which is why you would see like the Tanahashis coming through, like you would see like Carl Anderson and the Bullet Club guys coming over. You would see Naito coming over and stuff like that. Great shit. You know what I mean? Technically the Forbidden Door before the Forbidden Door was forbidden. You know what I mean? It was just a door.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where I was kind of having some high hopes, but then the other news rolls out saying that they're looking to sell their library. And the library actually includes footage of All In. And I'm like, yo,
AEW.
Somebody needs to buy this. Yeah, I'm like, it's weird that they don't have it. It's weird that they wouldn't own it, right? But I remember that ROH helped them a lot in the production portion of All In. So that kind of makes sense.
And Tony Khan's trying to start his own streaming
Is he?
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
either
that's a
he's
bad idea.
either
He
he's
shouldn't
trying
do
to
that.
start it, or he's trying to have AEW content on a different service, like either something with all the Warner Brothers, which does like TNT and stuff like that. So like he's trying to like have his own AEW like streaming thing, which like if he bought the Ring of Honor library, he would have all of ROH's history and then all of AEW's history.
You see, one of the things I already read that a lot of people are moaning and groaning about is that I guess Sinclair Broadcasting already came to some sort of agreement with WOW, Women of Wrestling, where they're going to air some of their episodes on wherever they're going to be at. And I'm like, why? I mean, unless it's going to be the Women of Honor stuff, like I don't understand. Like, I mean, maybe they were getting that Genie Bus money. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
dude.
the thing is, like the Women of Honor, I guess they technically could re-sign with Sinclair and say, all right, you don't have Ring of Honor contracts anymore. You could be part of WOW now, and
yeah.
I'm not saying the whole division wants to do that. I'm sure there's a few people that think they could go work somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say the same. There could be some other people that want to work other places, but when you look at WOW right now, they only announced 2 names. So it's like, y'all got room, I guess. You know what I mean? It is a little bit strange how quickly this is things are picking up with this. So
there's a lot of like moving pieces in terms of like we're not 100% sure like what is 100% factual what's going on and what's 100% like speculation.
Yeah.
And like because there's speculation that not only the library going to be sold, and the entire company could be sold. There's speculation of that, but I haven't heard anything concrete. There's also speculation that these Ring of Honor guys, most of them you could go work somewhere else, but like for the most part, we're going to still have Ring of Honor going forward, but it's going to be based on a pay per appearance. We're not going to do contracts anymore. So like you're still going to have work. It's just we're going to pay you per appearance,
Which I think their contracts before it was on a pay per, but it's a fixed rate, so it may be different now. That's usually how those contracts go.
And it could be like, we're
maybe more similar to like like how indie shows that only come around maybe once or twice a quarter. So you in between time you can go do whatever it is,
until they come back and the circus comes back
and they and instead of like, because I think what would, and this is just me hearing some people talk about it who know about it more than I do, but I could maybe I'm just believing in BS, this is how conservatives get their news, I guess. What would somewhat happen is Ring of Honor would have like, we have a month's worth of storyline / things, and this is going to be like what we're going to do, and everyone's going to get paid for it. Whereas like I think moving forward, if like, hey, if they have Dalton Castle, you're going to do just these 2 shows, we're only going to pay you for these 2 shows, and we're not going to have you also get paid to. And the thing is, like, they paid everyone during the pandemic, like that's probably not going to be the case moving forward. They don't want to feel feel like they have to pay people if this were to happen again.
Right.
The thing is that like I don't know. Like the thing is also Ring of Honor could just entirely fold, and it's up to the highest bidder and who wants to bring him in. And like my first thought would be like, it would be really cool if AEW, even if AEW didn't buy Ring of Honor, but maybe they're the ones who finance the last super card show.
I was thinking that. I mean, I don't know what the ROH relationship is with the elite guys, because again, allegedly there was some, I don't want to say bad blood, but they felt like they kind of just used them to launch pad AEW, or I guess All Out, which I mean, yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but I guess they were just like, all right, cool. Oh, no, you're not a part of this. I'm just going to click this velvet rope right here. Sorry.
Can we have a party at your house? But you're not invited.
It's like you can have a party in the street, and then I'll peek out and say what up every time I happen to think that I want to say what up. But inside the house, no, absolutely not.
If I can be honest, like if I'm being real about it, because we have our issues with the TNT Championship. I think we all do, right?
The TNT Championship.
Like we don't, we're not a fan of the name and stuff like that. Right?
I think I said last time I don't mind it. The reason I don't mind it is because that they got the AEW Dynamite thing, TNT. It just happened to click up. So at first when I heard about it, I was like, just call the TV title. But then after a while, I'm like, whatever. It kind of grew on me. But yeah, the TBS thing is a different story.
So I'm gonna get some hate for this right now, and like, so if I become the villain or whatever here,
love is overrated. Let's go.
All right. So basically, in the last 3 years, ROH has been nothing more than a mid-card promotion. Like,
no, they're look like they a few years ago, you could probably call them they were sharing number two slash, they were like ranked 2/3 next to New Japan and WWE, right? But yeah, AEW comes in and yeah, they slide down quite a bit on that.
Like Impact's probably got better talent, and
it's crazy to think that they like Impact, because everyone has joked about Impact, right? About like, oh, they're going out of business. Oh, we can't even find them. Are they even still in business? And to think that they're still in business, and like guys like the companies like Ring of Honor essentially look like
Ring of Honor's fifth. Ring of Honor's fifth on the pecking board, and you could even make the case in the last 6 months that GCW has been more interesting, or at least in the news, at least. Maybe not. Maybe not a better product, but
more topical. More
topical.
Yeah.
If AEW had the money to pull this off and they thought it was a good investment, I would purchase or figure out a way to at least have naming rights to Ring of Honor. I wouldn't just buy the company outright, but like you have the naming rights. So you own the name Ring of Honor, you have the Ring of Honor title, and you have the library, right?
I think that's a little bit more beneficial than just owning the company outright and just having it sit there if you're not going to do nothing with it. Yeah.
Ring of Honor, the ROH title, so it's called the Ring of Honor title, would be a much cooler mid-card title, in my opinion, than the TNT Championship.
And for those
that sounds like a King of the Ring tournament type thing, like the Ring of Honor title. Like it could be a tournament.
But the thing is that they might
a year or whatever.
Well, I
might find that disrespectful to Ring of Honor to make that a mid-card title.
I was gonna say they could retain the old school pure wrestling championship from Ring of Honor, which is kind of like too, right? Which I mean, where you can just still use the pure name and not necessarily just make it a Ring of Honor, because people are like, oh, so only like guys like Bobby Fish and Adam Cole can challenge for, I mean, there's always some numbskull that has something to say, but I like that.
They got Odyssey Jones fighting for the 205 title. Names mean nothing,
bro. The fact it was like what him versus Roddy on 205. I'm like, what is? I think someone said, what is this, 205 kilograms? Like, what are we doing? But yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't be mad if like they integrated some of the talent. I'm not saying you could buy these contracts, and essentially there's no existing contracts anymore to be able to retain them, but maybe have a few that you do retain. Obviously anyone that's working with AEW, they have the freedom, depending on how you negotiate, to work at other places and accept other bookings and whatnot. But I wouldn't be, I don't want to say like, oh, let's just dedicate a whole show to Ring of Honor. No, but I mean,
I wouldn't do that. But you could also replace Elevation. Like if that
I was going to say with with what they got on YouTube, if they were to replace one of them with the Ring of Honor, more exclusive type of thing, where you still give people a place for them to see some of their favorite guys, I think that'd be great. But I mean, also in my mind, if I'm money's no object and I'm just gonna fantasy book the hell out of this thing, let's go do an invasion angle where we got ROH teaming with New Japan against all the fucking insurmountable talent that have yet to be used in AEW. I think that'd be kind of cool, because they could do it right and not do it like, oh no, we got to show them that we beat them in the demo, and we got to stomp WCW on the ground, even though no one's thinking about WCW anymore until we bring it up.
If it's also like, let's just say Ring of Honor is going on a per appearance thing, and then AEW and Ring of Honor could come up with a deal. So even if you can't like purchase any of this shit, right? But you can even make the deal like, hey, you give us all in, and we're going to give you all these ex ROH guys that we have on our roster for your next supercard that's coming up in April. I was
going to say the supercard thing too. They could use that. I mean, that they can do a lot of fantasy matches with the supercard stuff.
Yeah, Bryan Danielson You have Adam
Mm-hmm.
Cole, you have Bobby Fish, you
Mhm.
have a bunch of people, Cody Rhodes, you have a bunch of people that have been through the ROH
Fuck.
system that you could have the
CM
AEW
Punk.
guys, CM
Yeah,
Punk, and
yeah.
you could have them all wrestle at the Supercard show. And you could have this working relationship where it's basically like, hey, we're going to basically keep ROH afloat with some of our guys when you do these big time shows.
Yeah.
We want the library, we want to have your title on our show, we want this and this and that. And maybe that's the working relationship they could have, or AEW could straight out like buy these things from ROH.
Yeah, I'm trying
Mm-hmm.
to, yeah, because I think, I'm not trying to make it seem like, oh, WWF that are doing these backdoor deals to help, finance ECW like back in the day, but having that company still there is healthy for competition in a way too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I could see them in a great business move trying to do something like that, if not try to help keep them afloat, or at least, because what I think, I mean, this is again me fantasy booking. It's like, okay, what if they do an event and then out of nowhere, fucking Samoa Joe shows up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Like,
it's shit like that. I mean, they can really still create some good moments,
Yeah,
but
there's some moments to be had.
yeah, that's why I feel like. But past the moments, I don't know how beneficial it will be for the workers if they're not working on a
Right.
full-time basis with AEW. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Right.
If you're not everyone's a Jay Lethal, not everyone's a Bandito, which I would love to get Bandito on the fucking show. Like there's a lot of guys, you know what I mean, but not everyone is on that tier. So, and the thing is, I don't want to happen is if they were to do kind of like a semi-brand type of thing where it's like ROH guys of old and new. I don't want it to get like these TNA one night only pay-per-views, or you know what I mean, all of a sudden,
Right.
oh, you never thought he was going to show up. I'm like, yeah, because why am I watching this? Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
I don't even know how I got here. Like, you know what I mean? But I think there's definitely a lot of things that they can do and utilize. And even though Tony is this is his third year, they're going into AEW now coming up.
Mm-hmm.
He's not,
Mhm.
what's the word? He's business savvy. So I know he's focused on him, but he would see the value in trying to do something with ROH in some capacity. I feel that. I mean,
So
that's all I could really say about it.
going back, this might be even a couple years now. Hold on, I'm checking. Oh, okay, never mind. All right, I got an email from my dentist. I'm like, did I miss an appointment? Like, all right. So, there was a couple years
Your
ago when
dentist had AEW news.
yeah, Marty Squirrel was still going to be part of ROH, but remember, he was like a booker. He was like one of the
Yeah,
main dudes, right?
yeah,
But he was supposed to make an appearance on AEW, and he was still supposed to be under contract with Ring of Honor. But this was supposed to bring like a working relationship of some sort. We didn't know what it
yeah.
was.
He was the
And
yeah,
this
yeah,
and this was at a time when AEW Dark was still featuring like relevant AEW guys because they didn't have 150 people under contract.
yeah. Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So there was one of the speculations that I've heard on some podcasts that they were saying like Ring of Honor would then become where a lot of these people who are still green could go work, so they don't have to necessarily be on AEW, but they're still getting TV time and learning their craft over at Ring of Honor instead of doing it on AEW where it's just like AEW still looks a little green. Now AEW's at a point where their roster's too bloated to really even entertain that idea. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's you have 15 hours of dark every week, like you have plenty of guys who are green on YouTube. You don't need Ring of Honor for that anymore.
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
So it's just so interesting, whereas I feel like Ring of Honor is in a weird situation where like it depends on like, are you just trying to get rid of it? What's the legacy you want to still keep intact? And because like if the legacy matters,
Yeah, yeah,
then AEW is the perfect person to figure something out, because I'm sure Tony Khan and Cody and all them will figure out a way to keep the legacy going somewhat, even if it's like they do a super card every year or something like that.
I think if they were to like take maybe integrate two of their pay-per-views that they usually, you know, people look forward to, like whether like Death by Dishonor or whatever it is. But yeah, Supercard obviously being one of them. I wouldn't be mad at that either. But yeah, you did point out a real interesting fact is, yeah, again, even though I don't know what the relationship is, you got the original All In crew who, you know, are obviously very close to Tony. But then you also got other guys like Adam Cole and CM Punk and, you know, Bryan Danielson, who could be in Tony's ear and like, hey man, I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your money, but I think this is something we should look into because this is really important to a lot of us here. This is how we got here. A lot of like this, you know, a lot of us, we wouldn't even be here. You wouldn't even know who we were if it wasn't for this company. So I don't want to say that's the foregone conclusion, but it's definitely probably the more practical decisions or possibilities out of all of this. But I mean, at the end of the day, I just want everyone involved to be able to still be able to pay their bills and shit like that, man. Shit like this sucks. So it's like, again, this, I don't know if this trumps the entire, 3 Release of Mania sessions we had this year with WWE, but this is pretty big, man. But again, a lot of them, I think a lot of them are going to be able to get back on their feet, but there's some people, like I said,
it'll be fine, man. I think so. There's enough space for everybody to kind of fill in other places. It'll be all right.
I mean, but can you imagine all of a sudden Jay Lethal appears on Raw and he's in her business? Ooh, that'd be nice. I mean,
he should go to Impact. He's a forever ROH guy. But
then if he shows up there and be like, yeah, sorry, Rich Swann, we don't need you anymore. We have the much older version of that we. Speaking of which, and this is only in 3 frames. Black wrestlers, older, and Impact. Did you know that R-Truth or Ron Killings, formerly of Impact TNA, you know he's coming out with an album?
Like a real one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been recording for like 3 years.
I mean, I knew he was saying "I Get Rowdy" back in the day, you know, and doing I've seen little clips, but I didn't know he was putting together a whole, because like of all people, Randy Orton tweeted out like this trailer he put out. Yeah.
This is how it has to work. The intro needs to be called K Quick.
Yes.
And the outro needs to be called R-Truth.
Yes. I like that. And then the interlude is Little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy, yeah.
Little Jimmys. Oh, you little Jimmys.
The funny,
that's my bad. That's on me.
That's on me. My bad. You know, it's so funny because like I didn't think we'd get on a R-Truth tangent ever, but like that man is like a treasure. Like,
first of all, we don't have R-Truth. We should set aside 3 minutes on our podcast every week and say, hey, what's going on with R-Truth?
R-Truth appreciation.
Yeah, he chased the 24/7 titles. Like,
you guys remember when he was doing the segment with John Cena, and he turned heel? And do you know he got fined like tens of thousands of dollars for that, for smoking on TV?
What?
And I was like, well, who told him to go do that? I'm like, did he do it on his own or someone? Because I'm thinking
if he did it on his own.
Bravo, right?
Yeah,
Bravo, right?
But he would be part of that gang pay-per-view.
Yeah, he definitely would. He'd have to be. Dude, can you imagine? He starts talking to Hit Row like, so when y'all started the New Day. Oh, my bad. That's on me. That's on me. So y'all
flicks a cigarette in a puddle of gasoline. Just like,
yeah, man. But yeah, one thing I wanted to bring up before we get into the top 10. Bray Wyatt or Wyndham Rotunda officially done with his 90-day as of yesterday. Interesting thing is things change real quickly around here. When I was recording with Mac Lowe for Quincy Jones show, his Twitter handle was still the same, WWE Bray Wyatt. Now it's changed, so everyone's like, oh no, he's not going back. They're like, are you sure it's Wyndham 6? And then someone's like, yeah, in 6 days it's Rampage. I'm like, and someone's like, or Wyndham 1 through 5 was taken. I was like, yeah. Probably.
Dude, like my number one rule is like, unless you're doing like the number has a significance to you.
Yeah, which he has a history of doing, you know.
Yeah,
but
I'm like, you can't put the number like you're a famous person. You shouldn't be just putting random numbers in. So the number 6 has to mean something.
Spooky. There's a
you don't see it's Brad Pitt 10. Like it's like,
Yeah, right. It's unless you like Takashi, right? That's the only time. If the number's already in your name, then it's fine. But it's like, nah, I don't like that at all. But the other
Imagine
thing,
though if it was Takashi 6'9", 102, because the regular Takashi was taken.
Takashi 6'9",
like he
second
made his
account.
Twitter like 2 weeks after he got famous instead of before he got famous. So like he's like, oh now I can't find it. All right.
He's like, I should have got it back in.
Damn.
I didn't believe myself enough back in the day, and now I'm paying for it now.
Even all the underscore versions are taken. Damn.
But I did want to say that Bray Wyatt has been in LA of late fielding inquiries for Hollywood projects. He was also seen at a Clippers game, so shout out to LA Clips for him.
Did you guys know Rusev or not? Miro is like a huge Clippers fan.
I love the Clippers.
Yeah,
That's but see, one of the things that everybody is trying to associate with Bray is because I guess some of the people he's been talking to is Warner Media, obviously TNT, AEW, obviously. So everyone's like, oh, that may be what's going on next. I'm like, I don't know.
We'll see. Guys, do you realize WB Wyatt Bray backwards?
Oh, and then add a 6 to it. Oh, mine.
Depending on what cable you got, it might be on channel 6. Oh,
he's gonna be on CWFH Wrestling.
CW. It's like, no, it's Cray Wyatt now.
Yeah, it's Cray Wyatt.
It's Cray Wyatt. But yeah, I thought it was just important enough to know that he's actually looking at other possibilities outside of wrestling as well, which, that's good. Everyone kept posting that one pic of that wannabe Wyatt in the nosebleed seats at the AW show, and everyone's like, "Oh, what happened to Wyatt? He's sad and eating. He's stress eating out here." I'm like, bro, just leave him alone, man.
I don't think he's sad. I think he's just like, you know what? I don't have to go work every day, and I still got paid till October. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, the one thing I've noticed that everyone's been saying, like the there's always a narrative being spun for everything, right? So everyone keeps saying, well, he was being, we heard he was being difficult behind the scenes. I'm like, was he being difficult, or was he being passionate and standing up for a character that only he knows and understands, while you guys are trying to fuck with it and do some other weird shit that y'all don't know and don't understand? You know what I mean? So,
like I could just picture Bray Wyatt
if he wasn't
meeting, like just being like, yeah, for checking his notes. Yeah, losing to Goldberg is probably not in this character's best interest.
I'm gonna need an amendment on page 2, column 3, third line down. What's this losing to Goldberg shit?
Yeah, it's like we made we made a deal. Imagine that was his deal, and he's like, when he first made the Fiend, he's like, I have one specific rule: I can't lose to Goldberg. I can't. I can lose to anyone. I can. They're like, lose to Hornswoggle,
but he's the only one that could beat you. What do you mean? Well, he's the only one that could beat a supernatural force. Like, why? Because he's a hero to who? His kid. Who the fuck's his kid?
Bray's like having, like, he's just yelling at him,
and then it just a cutaway to the football practices and shit. But I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm wishing the best for Bray. I do want to see him get work. I heard that the talks, the rumored talks of him with the Impact was not even that long, so I don't know why everyone keeps talking about it, but. Yeah, I want to see dude get some work. He's very talented. He didn't get cut because he 100%. Sucks. You know what I mean? It's just weird.
Right.
It's just weird because that's my thing again with it'd be one thing if he wasn't showing up to work. I do know that sometimes he wasn't because of the whole Brody thing. He needed some time off, but I'm like, well, don't call him insubordinate just yet. He's just fucking mourning his friend while he doesn't have enough time in a day to do so. And
the storyline you're building at the exact same time while he's mourning absolutely sucked.
Yeah, it's like, how you supposed to put your all in?
It was a money feud.
Yeah,
that wrote itself, and you just made it extremely terrible.
That's the thing with these writers, bro. If there's one thing they can do to fuck something up, they'll not only do it, but they will go. They would you know what I mean? Back in those days, you had those books that were pick your own adventure, right? You'd be reading up to a point. It's like, oh, turn to page 7 if you want to get take your chances with the Undertaker in the coffin. Not really, but or go to page 14 and see how you fare against the Authority. They don't have now. It's like, we can either go to page 7 for a really well built and thoroughly entertaining top to bottom storyline. Go to 14 to fuck it all up. Yeah, let's go to fucking 14 and just make a whole new chapter in page 4. Like, I don't know why they do it, dude. It's like there's certain things that they shouldn't do, and then they'll do it, and then they're like, well, we fucking did it already, so let's double down on it. Like, no. Just like y'all edited that title exchange.
The double down.
Oh God,
the double down is the worst.
It'd be great if they doubled down on some fucking talent, but on that note, speaking of that, you guys want to break down the flow chart for the women?
Hell yeah, dude.
Let's do it.
I'm so fucking stoked, man. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah, let's do this.
This
was gonna be
top 5 is great.
Say it again.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is gonna be extremely controversial because we're gonna leave some people out that people are gonna be like, "How's that person in there?"
How the fuck? I'm trying to. Yeah. I'm going back to my first list that I sent you.
And I have 2 people that are gonna make this list based on the numbers I gave them. I'm sure that everyone's gonna be like, "How the hell are they on the list and this person's not?" So this is gonna get. And my 9 and 10 could probably flip flop, to be honest, but I'm gonna keep it the way it is.
There's only one outcome that I need to happen, otherwise I'm banished from the Black Wrestling Twitter.
So he wants to make sure that he wants Dana Brooke to be on in top 5.
Black Wrestling Twitter is like, where's Dana Brooke?
Where's Dana Brooke at?
They're like, what you trying to say? Mandy Rose just won the title.
We have don't you see how dark her tan is? She's included. She's inclusive with what we got going on over here. All right, I'm writing down my names right now. I forgot when I first wrote y'all, I only had 5. Now I got to come up with another 5.
Oh,
well, I feel like the wrestling world gives you the first 5 no matter what. It's just a matter of like, where should some of these people be? Yeah. I'm probably.
And I think that's why this first set is going to be tough. But once we have it, it'll be easy to just be like, oh no, knock this person out, put this person in, or put this person at 9, put this person at 10. But the first initial like trying to find the 10 is tough.
I have 9, so I'm looking for who's gonna, because.
I'm not gonna lie, I put someone at number 1 and it's making me feel racist right now.
Oh, I can't believe you've done this. How dare you put Tessa Blanchard on your list?
I didn't put her on the list yet. She hasn't wrestled. But like, it's like in a way I'm like, it should be this one person, but then this person recently won a title, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm just getting racist vibes putting this person in over this other person.
Oh, you're putting them over another person. So I was like, if it's not Tessa, I don't know who else it could be.
Yeah.
But yeah,
to be honest,
if it feels racist, it's racist.
If you're questioning it, if it is, most likely it is. If it crossed your mind, back the fuck up. Like,
you know what? Then you're right. I need to change it back.
You go.
Sorry, Mandy Rose.
Bianca over Becky.
Sorry, Mandy Rose. You did not make my list. And we're gonna all right.
So
put Raquel Gonzalez.
Hold on, like we're using the same criteria, right?
What's the criteria? Yeah. It's
like what popularity, moments,
like, relevance, popularity,
impact,
matches.
like current impact, I guess.
Yeah,
because there's one person I want to put on here, but she lost technically. I wanted to put EO on here, but she hasn't done nothing but lose. Like,
I think if you're a women's tag team champion, you shouldn't be on a list.
I mean, well, she's not even the women's tag team champion anymore, anyways.
Right. She needs to get freed, bro. She needs to get freed from NXT.
Now I'm over here trying to think of the stupid AEW roster.
If we were doing overall,
I'm gonna put Cora Jade, guys. I'm gonna put Cora Jade in there.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
What?
EO would be at the top. She would be top 5, but because she's in a tag team that is losing and cutting boring promos and her partner is doing front flip, landing on her feet, then it doesn't matter.
All that. And then on top of that, you also have the fact that like it's taken away from her TV time too, because she has to do something with her, and it's like they don't.
So hopefully they split up, feud or something, and then she could get bumped up.
I'm still trying to see. I have
I'm down for all the arguments.
I have a 10th, but I don't really fuck with her though. It's like,
hey, it be like that sometimes.
Like she did some shit, and then like a few weeks passed, and they haven't really done nothing with her. So, it's Shayna Baszler.
My number one is actually going to probably switch another 5 times while we have these conversations.
All right, I'm
get started.
I have 4 people in mind.
I just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just need one more. I can't have Shayna on here. It just doesn't. Fuck. Who the fuck else is there? There's nobody.
I have
nobody.
I have 2 people on my list who are not.
Like I'm looking at your first list that you posted in the chat just to see if there's someone in there. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about her.
I have 2 people on my list who are not in AEW or WWE.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now that you closed the forbidden door and just left the back door open, I guess I could find some people.
That's the name of this podcast, The Back Door Open.
Oh, so it's gonna be and I just happen to have my China shirt on. You can't be saying back door and I got my China shirt on. It's all bad.
We talking about the women. We talking about the women's list. He got on the China shirt.
What do you mean? The 9th wonder of the world is what we're saying. Fuck. You know what? I'm gonna leave my 10th open. Maybe you guys will name somebody that I'm not thinking about.
Yeah.
But now I got to put them in order. So fuck. All right, hold on. I got the first. Yeah, we're gonna put her. Yup. And then
I think I'm good. I hope I'm good. My apologies ahead of time.
So, where should I put Tessa? No.
I'm not gonna lie though, this is gonna be a hot take. When she does wrestle, and if it gets enough eyes on the product for that promotion,
they're not gonna give a fuck anymore.
We might have to sneak her in like a 9th spot or something on a future list.
I mean, on whose list? Not my list. It's gonna be an anonymous list that just gets added.
Voted for her. Hey, Bray, yeah. Oh, who put the vote in? I'm like, I was. Actually, I gave it to Sasha Banks. I gave it to Sasha Banks.
It's Sasha Banks.
Those 2 points to Sasha Banks.
Big swallow, huh, guys?
And I just have to.
You ready?
Almost. Sorry.
This is a good podcast.
I'm getting there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This
7.
is
I got to place the. I got my last 2. I'm trying to place.
This champion.
What was that? This is.
I am your current BET champion.
The BET champion.
This is gonna be...
Oh my God! It's the 5 Heartbeats champion.
I feel like we're gonna get a lot of people commenting on like, you left this person out, because like once you get to like the 4th spot, I feel like everybody in the women's division in every promotion is just a lateral. Like, just pick and choose who you're feeling right now. Like that's it. Like there's not really.
Yeah.
All right, I added somebody.
There's only a few head and shoulders.
All right, I'm not. I don't at me about any of these people on this list. I'm letting y'all know, not you.
Oh, you're getting added.
Oh yeah, you're getting added.
No, I'm directing all questions to Quincy Jones.
You fucked up. I got the email and the credentials now. You fucked up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I'm good.
All right, so
let's go.
I mean, y'all made me just totally hurry, but whatever. It's gonna be good. It's
All
gonna be
right,
good.
who do you got at number 10, Quincy?
I got Shotzi.
No, like
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You talking about? Oh, my bad. You're talking about the who got 10 confidence points. I thought you were talking about
who's got 10 confidence
So
points?
when you said who you got at number 10, I'm like, oh, I was like, we're starting from the bottom. I said it was so confident too. Like, oh yeah, yep. Why? What's wrong? What happened?
This is already.
Wait, she did the thing. But she did the thing, right? But she's good. She's
She had a promo. She had a promo in a match. So
I'm like, I mean, did you not hear that howl she does? Come on, bro. Nah, so
that's the clip. Clip that.
so for my 10 confidence points, I have Bianca Belair.
Yes.
I have Bianca Belair.
Okay. Same.
Now it sounds racist.
He's like, well, fuck, both y'all said it. Both y'all double down on it, and now it's me.
All right. Well, okay.
Now I got to be the one to say she don't make the top
5. I gave her 5.
Who?
I gave
Bianca
Belair 5. I gave Bianca 5.
Shit. Hey, at least you made the top 5. That ain't bad. So was that 25 points?
She's not a champion right now. That's probably why.
Yep.
She's the people's champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? No, I gave it to her because even though a lot of these women on the list have titles, in terms of popularity, she's still, head and shoulders above a few.
And she's involved in anybody that's in your top 4. She's involved with them in the last 3 months, and it's the only reason that their shit was popping.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Who'd you have as your number 10 then, Brian?
Britt Baker.
Okay, I had her as my number 2.
Oh, what did I give?
Or I should say, I guess that's my 9 points.
You have her 9 points. Okay,
yeah.
You're just throwing us off, man. I'm like,
you had
Shotzi at 10, and you had Britt Baker at 2.
Yep, she's the worst.
So 10, and then you had
19.
You have a 9.
I'm guessing you had?
I gave her 7.
So is that 26?
Yeah, that's 26.
Dang, she managed to still top Bianca, and Bianca got 2 10s. That's what's up, though.
Yeah.
All right. So number 3, I guess not number 3. My number 8, right? Is that what it is? Number 8.
Yeah, like whoever gave the most confidence points. Yeah.
So, or did we all do our 9.1? It was all. I know you had Britt Baker. I had Britt Baker.
Who's your number 9?
I got 9 then.
Yeah. Who was your 9?
Sasha.
Okay. I had Sasha at 1, 2, 3. I had her at 6.
I have Sasha at 2.
The 17.
So
yep.
9. So 9, 6, and 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
17.
All right. I have Charlotte for 8.
Okay, I have Charlotte for 9.
Oh.
I have Charlotte for 8 as well.
So is that 25?
9, 8, 9. That's 26, right? No, I'm not looking at that right. Is that right? No.
Wait, say 9, 8, 9.
That's
18.
26.
Oh, that is 26. Yeah, 18 plus 8. Yeah. All
right.
Tied with Britt Baker. That's pretty cool. Okay.
I don't like Charlotte really at all, but like
you said 9, 8, 9.
Yeah.
It's 25.
Is it 9, 8, 9? 9 and 9 is 18 plus 8.
Isn't it?
18 plus 8.
Oh. You sure?
9 plus 8 is 17. Plus 9 is 26. Yeah, that's 26. These damn nines, man.
I did 8, 8, 9. My bad.
Oh no worries. Yeah. I had Becky Lynch as my 7.
Okay, I have her as my 6.
7, 6.
To be honest,
Lynch is 6.
So we got 19 for Becky.
I'll be honest, she hasn't done anything for me since she's been back. But she's champion, and
Not really.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
if she wasn't champion, she might not even make my list.
her best match was the crown jewel one. You know what I mean? But she wasn't in there alone. You know what I mean? So that's why like Charlotte and Bianca are still. You know what I mean?
Are you guys ready to have a controversial one that I wouldn't even be surprised is not on your list?
This is when it starts to get a little spicy. Who you got?
I mean, I'm curious to hear who you have on the list that's not on. I mean, I have one person that's from Impact, but other than that, everyone else is.
So I have 2 Impact wrestlers, and they're both in my 8 and 7 spot.
Oh shit!
I have Mickie James at 8.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. He barely came back and won the title. I get that, but I couldn't be like, oh, so she should be ranked. I'm like,
So my defense is she beat.
What do you mean it's hardcore country? Come on, y'all.
So my take is she got released from the WWE, does an all women's pay-per-view for NWA, and then she goes to Impact, starts a feud with Deanna there, right? Starts a feud with Deanna, who's in my opinion the best wrestler who's not in AEW and WWE, and then goes in there and wins the championship, and she's now part of 2 promotions, and while she's doing a lot of stuff on the side. So I feel like Mickie James deserves some kind of respect here. And to be honest, I don't think any of the other women that are absolutely killing it in AEW and WWE right now, except for Bianca Belair, maybe.
Yeah, I
just don't change. Like I don't see Mickie James and be like, let me check in and see what she got going on. Like, let me change the channel or let me get on YouTube and find her segments.
Right.
Like, it's like, okay, that's cool. She a legend.
If they reopen that door to AEW, I think Mickie James.
Oh, you know what? I meant to tell y'all about that actually. Their AEW's partnership with Impact has ended, which is why we haven't seen like the Good Brothers on TV and shit like that because it's done.
Oh.
Which they didn't really do none with them anyways, but you know.
So I'm assuming you guys gave zeros.
I didn't have Mickie James on mine, but ironically, I had Deonna Purrazzo.
I gave her 7.
Ooh.
I had her as a 4 because even though she lost, she's been carrying that division,
and she's still the Reina's. I'm saying that wrong.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Reina's champion.
Yeah, and what was it? AAA.
Yeah. So she's holding 2 belts for a while, and she's in. Her and Britt Baker are trying to give Vince their company. I've
been hearing about that. Oh, I'm sorry. You gave Mickie that was your 8 spot.
I gave Mickie James 8.
So she had 8. Was I the only one that had Deanna?
No, I gave her 7.
7. Did you have Deanna or Mickie James, Mac? Okay.
Right,
so I just want to. So Deanna with an 11 and Mickie James with an 8. We'll put y'all down to the side. Let me see. I had Zelina Vega for a 3.
Yeah, I gave her 0.
I gave her 5.
He gave her more than me. So she got an 8.
Is 8.
So she over here she's tying with the hardcore country over here.
Hardcore country.
I'm sorry, I missed her. I gave Serena Deeb a 6. I feel like she is, outside of Britt Baker, one of the more. I mean, she's never had a really bad match, man. Like she the last 2 weeks of her and Sheeta have been really good. I've been enjoying the heel turn. Yep. I mean, I was talking to Lo, like the post match that she had in that tournament, like with her taking out her knee and shit. Like, dude, it was awesome. Like I haven't seen that not even just for women, but just in a tournament format period where you see someone take out the other person even though they lost. Like, well, shit, if I'm losing, you ain't winning that bitch either. You know what I mean? So I really like the way that she turned it up on that end. Plus, man, I'm a sucker for nostalgia. So the fact that they did a lot of the SummerSlam 92 match with Bulldog and Bret Hart in that match, it was cool, man. I like watching women's wrestling where you don't think, oh, that was pretty good for a girl. When you just enjoy the wrestling as what it is, regardless of gender, that's one of my favorites.
And I think that, like, in my opinion, so before we get on to my thing, I have the same stance with the person I gave some points to, but did anyone else give Deeb points?
I gave her 6, but I don't know if anyone else had.
I gave her 3.
So she has 9?
I gave her 3.
All right, because I didn't give her any points.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. No worries.
So the person that I feel like for over a year has been killing it. And yeah, she doesn't have any championships right now, but in my opinion, is the best worker in every promotion. I gave Thunder
Chelsea
Rosa,
Green. No.
I gave Thunder Rosa 4 points.
I remember you had her on your original list. I just haven't seen anything from her recently, and I don't know how far back we're gonna be like basing this loose criteria on. But yeah, you're right. She's another person who has great matches anytime she's on TV. Like, no disrespect to anybody else, but if I see that it's the Bunny or the Penelope versus, I don't know, Julia Hart or somebody that I'm just not that into, I won't follow it. But if Thunder Rosa's in the match, no matter who she's facing, I'll watch that. Same thing with Stranger Deeb. I'll watch that. Like, it's but yeah, Thunder Rosa, she's definitely been one of the better pieces that were added to the division for sure.
Did you guys give her any points though?
I didn't have her on my list, no.
Did you?
I had it and then I scratched it out to give it to somebody else.
All right, so she has 4 points total.
So yeah.
All right.
I only have 2 more names on my list.
I have 2 more names on my list too. I gave Shayna Baszler 3 points.
I had her on my list and I took her off. I don't even know what I would have given her, to be honest. I probably would have gave her a 1, but yeah, I didn't have her. I mean, because they had her doing this thing on Raw where she was breaking everybody's arms and shit, and I loved it. And then they had her switch shows, and now she's like what, like a shooter for hire for Sonya Deville now. You know what I mean? It's kind of a lame way to have her integrate, especially when you got Sonya Deville, who like she was already in a tough boat as it was when she was actively wrestling as an MMA style gimmick, and that was when you had Ronda Rousey on the main roster, but you also had like Shayna Baszler in NXT. But then like to team up with her is weird to me.
My stance on it is, if it wasn't for her being part of the LGBT community, she would have gone on probably to win that tournament. It's just that since it happened in Saudi Arabia, she didn't. That's the only thing that she hasn't necessarily done in a month. Outside of that, she's been breaking arms, having good matches, stuff like that.
Yeah. No, so, I mean, she should have won. Yeah. I mean, we've never seen a character like hers in the women's division, let alone go on to be a queen or king in that sense, you know. Maybe she's like, no, I don't identify as a queen. You know what I mean? I don't know, dude. Like, it just maybe she didn't even want to be a part of it. Who knows? But I think it would have been a really good look for her. But
you both gave zeros?
Yeah, I didn't have it. I started having her on my list, but she would have just got a 1, like I said, on my end, just because I hate when they build it up. Honestly, and then there's no follow through.
You're making me want to switch. You're making me want to switch my list up right now. I might have to slide.
We got compelling arguments coming through.
I might have to give my 1 to Shayna and see if that helps her make the list. Yeah, give my 1 to Shayna.
So what does that make? What does that give her?
That gives her 4 points.
Okay. Shayna for 4. How has she not been champion on the main roster yet outside of tag champ, by the way?
That's crazy, right?
Because they know that they can't book their division around here because she got to kill them all, right? Like,
and they probably just don't like that she doesn't have eyebrows.
Yeah,
that helps.
All right, so I think I only have my 1 spot left, and I've been okay. It's between Jade Cargill.
I forgot about. I didn't even put her on my list. Shit.
It's been between Mandy Rose because she just won the NXT championship.
Yeah, I have her down as my number 2.
That's why like it kind of feels racist because it was between those two.
It's like, but she's green. Oh, so you just picked the tan white girl.
and then I was gonna put like Serena Deeb was gonna get my 1 spot, but I've decided that Deeb is comfortable with 9 points right now. She doesn't need my additional 1 point, I feel like. So
she might make the list either way. Yeah.
So it's between Jade and Mandy, and you know what? Maybe if Mandy has a killer match down the line, maybe it goes Mandy. But we didn't put Tommaso Ciampa on the last list, and I think that's why I'm like, I don't have to put Mandy. So I'm gonna go with Jade Cargill.
See, I was in that case. Then I mean, because
I got Jade on mine as well.
Because I have Mandy as my number 2, but at the same time, like I know who I would have wanted to put on there, but it's weird. I would have wanted to put Raquel on there, but it's like
She just lost.
she just lost. And before then, I don't know. I can't really.
Fat now.
I just can't really pinpoint, it's something that she's done of, any impact. I mean, it'd come to my mind right now, but I don't have anything. You know what I mean? Same like but she can work. Yeah, but so can Ember Moon. But where's she been at? You know what I mean? So, I have Mandy Rose as my number 2.
Okay.
I gave Jade points as well, though. So I gave Jade 4.
Jade Cargill with 4.
So Jade has 5.
5, and then anyone else? You picked Mandy Rose too, right, Brian?
No, I didn't.
You ended up
between Jade and Mandy, and I'm going to give it to Jade.
Am I the only one that picked Mandy?
Yeah, for 2 points.
All right, cool.
Anybody else?
I was struggling with the Mandy situation. I wanted to get Ruby in there, but Mandy just won the chip, and so 2 points go to Mandy.
So she got 4.
Mandy got 4. Okay.
And my last one, which I'm sure you guys know by now, is Shotzi Blackheart. I got her for a 1.
You got her for 10 points?
I got her for a whopping 11. I gave her an extra 10. Yeah, I got her for 1. I mean, I was kind of worried about what they were going to be doing with her with the draft. They separated her and Tegan Knox. We've seen this happen before with different other talents that get traded. You think it's going to be like, oh, is this our chance? But then they just more or less get used to get fed to whoever the dominant person is at the time. I didn't see this coming with Shotzi. The fact that they even had her fight Charlotte so early in her main event career, I thought that was really cool. But at the same time, we haven't had someone like a Shotzi character on the roster outside of like a Rhea Ripley. So I think it's cool what they're doing. And obviously the heel turn was great as well. They gave her a lot of time, a lot of focus. So I thought she was worth. She put up just enough points to make it to my list this morning. So I gave Shotzi a 1. I gave her a 1.
She definitely had a good match. It was a good match, a good showing. It had a little bit of personality involved. It wasn't just like, I think they got to get rid of the Tank though, because it kind of makes her character more cartoony when you stack her up against the people that she was in there with. When you look at a Sasha, Charlotte, Bianca, that level of people, and then she rolls in with the Tank shooting like styrofoam bullets. It's like,
I don't mind.
I don't mind. Cole tried to like, man, he was like, she wants to roll over the competition, and it's like, shut up, man. Like,
I mean, it was like, yo,
you're making it worse.
If I was Pat, I'm like, yo, you're getting too excited. The Trigger Street fight didn't happen yet. Stop with all the puns. I know you excited about this one.
Yeah.
Fucking A. God, they were just having a terrible time. Like they were like, well, these are all the low-hanging fruit. We're just gonna hit them all. But no, I don't mind the Tank. But when they started shooting missiles out of it, that's when I was like, all right, this is now it's cartoon.
They can make her just extremely annoying too. You know what I mean? Like she has go away heat with the baby faces, but not go away heat with the crowd.
Yeah.
But that's a hard line to kind of push on someone who's kind of new to the main roster too. So I don't know.
Was I the only one that voted?
She should get a buggy. Yeah, I didn't get no points to Shotzi.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah,
she's on the way up.
Shotzi's not going to make the list.
What do you mean? She has 10. She should be in the bottom 5. No, yes, all right.
So
for sure.
Number 1, we have to do a tiebreaker vote between Charlotte and Britt Baker.
Oh shit!
You guys are going to get me canceled.
Nah, I mean, I already know. I mean, I'm gonna vote Britt Baker on that one.
I'm gonna vote Britt Baker too.
All right, so we got Britt for number 1. So that makes Charlotte 2, right? Or no, but then, oh yeah, I guess that does make it 2, and then that makes Bianca 3rd. What?
Which is still
I'm about to get in trouble.
Right below. She's right below the 2 champions of the biggest promotions in the.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
And then she's still technically above Becky for sure. So, so we got Sasha at 3rd. And then is that
no, but Belair's at 3rd.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I meant to say Bianca. Oh no. Becky Lynch is 19. I forgot. So she's before Sasha too.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair. So
she's Becky.
I can't believe. So Becky
And
actually
Sasha.
Becky, she just made it to the top within the top 5 at that 4th spot.
Yeah.
And then from here, what do we have?
Deonna Purrazzo.
Yeah, Deonna Purrazzo, which I can never remember if it's 2 R's or 2 Z's, so I always spell it with both. It's like Tommaso Ciampa. I don't know if it's 2 M's or 2 S's in the first name,
Right.
so I always have to like
Double check.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Did you mean?" I'm like, "Yeah, that is what I meant."
All right, so Zelina Vega and Mickie James both have 8 points.
Wait, we forgot Serena Deeb.
Yeah, my bad. Serena Deeb.
Serena Deeb's at 7, and then you said, "Oh yeah, Zelina and Mickie James." I'm personally gonna vote for Zelina. It has nothing to do with the fact that I picked her. No.
I feel like I have to double down and give
Mickie her due. Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah. So.
Well.
First of all,
I told you before. I'm sorry.
Now to think about it, I don't think you had either of them on your list either, right?
Who, me?
No. I had Zelina at 5.
Oh, you did. Okay.
All right. So Vega and Mickie at 9, which is a good spot for her. I feel like based on what's going on.
So it's Vega and then Mickie. Okay. Zelina.
And then who's that lead for 10?
All right. So we had.
Is that a 3-way tie?
No,
Mandy, Thunder, and Shayna?
No. Jade Cargill is never got 5 points.
Oh, you're right. She does.
With 5. Ooh.
Hey, people gonna be mad about Mandy Rose. They were like, "What? She's on TV every week. How is she not on the list?"
And then Thunder Rosa and
I think is that not it?
No, that's it. But I'm just trying to figure out who missed by a point. Shayna Baszler got 4
Thunder
points.
Rosa,
Yeah, Shayna, Thunder, and Mandy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like Shayna and Thunder, like, all right, but like, yeah, Mandy Rose is like, oh, but you the current women's champion.
for my defense right now, because I know I put Mickie high on my list, but I put her high on my list with the idea that I do believe she deserved to be on the list, but I knew she was not going to get any points from me. Yeah, so she's now number 9.
Hey, yo, what the? I just thought about it. How come Chris Statlander's not? She hasn't been wrestling either, right?
Well, I was going to say, if you look at the people who are in a 4-way tie, everybody else on the list has done at least more relevant shit recently.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, this is the most relevant thing Mandy's done, right? Like this is her biggest.
Mandy won a title. If she has a banger match coming up, then cool, but she probably won't.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler, if she goes back to being irrelevant, then that makes sense why she didn't. Thunder Rosa should have to continue in the TBS tournament. And if she does, she does. If she doesn't,
I think she might. I forgot what everyone keeps thinking I think it's going to be Thunder Rosa and Jade Cargill in the main event in the finals.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
That's
and I think it's good that we're doing this on screen because most of the people who will argue with us, we just covered why we made the decisions we made, and you get to see where everybody else failed. So anybody who comes to argue, if you didn't watch, you can't argue.
I was gonna say, I mean, like, and there's 3 different perspectives coming from, like, 3 different thought processes. You know, it's not like, oh, all 3 of us have to agree, and this is what we decided on. No,
it's because if I could be honest with you, why Mickie James and Deonna Purrazzo made my list and why maybe someone from Impact didn't make the men's list is in the women's divisions. They in both promotions, you have your champions and your challenger, and then everyone else is whatever. And then so that leaves another promotion's champions and their challenger to come in as well.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you still have top contenders that are great names too. But yeah, I don't know. Just I mean, honestly, this was fun. I mean, I know we joked a lot. I'm like, is there even enough women to even put it, you know? Because I was even going, like, I was like, dude, do I put B Priestley on here? I'm like, I mean, I don't watch what she's doing, but I know she's doing stuff because people are talking about her. You know what I mean? But I'm like, that seems a little disingenuous. Because again, I mean, like, I'm not seeing it myself, and I'm not going to pretend that I even spend time watching NXT UK. You know what I mean?
Right.
Speaking of which, where the fuck?
Right.
What happened to Kaylee Ray? Kaylee Ray was like in NXT, and then all of a sudden she's just like,
I don't know, man. Maybe she didn't make it to 2.0. I don't know.
She
was on the first episode of 2.0 or something like that, right? Or something
I think
like
so.
That. And then they're just like
people
just
gonna be like,
or the one right before she came out.
People are gonna be like, "What about Indy Hartwell?" I'm like, I mean, she's great, but
What about Dewdrop?
What about Dewdrop? She was in the finals. How dare you? It's like, come on, dude.
And I honestly think, like, let's just say,
the inspiration. They just came back and won titles. What about them?
They almost would have made my list, but then I realized there's better people.
No, I agree. No, but for real though, like if Mickey James didn't have the match with Deonna Purrazzo, right? But he ain't lying though. Well, I mean, like, and I like both of them. I like their act. You know what I mean? But I'm not looking at them and pegging them as, oh, they're like the top 10 female wrestlers right now. You know what I mean? Like, even though I enjoy their work, I don't watch their work to be like, oh, watch her about to stretch the shit out this. You know what I mean? I don't. It's more the character work for me when it comes to them. You know what I mean? So,
and if I'm being honest with you, Jade Cargill really needs to win the TBS championship, or she's probably off the list.
I don't see. I mean, she's
yeah. That 10-9 spot is a bubble, boy. Because
and to be honest,
happen down there.
Mickey James is probably not going to be on the list. Maybe
I would dare predict that Mickey may not be on the list next week, or maybe Selena may not be on the list next week, depending on how they're going to feature these.
My hot take is the 6 through 10 spots in the women's list is going to be constantly changing.
Yeah,
more than the men's list.
I believe so. I mean, when you look at you got Deonna, Serena on there, Jade Cargill, which they obviously have been having a slow burning rocket on her back for quite some time. They're trying to
because somebody that kind of I thought about for a second, and I didn't bring her up as a number one spot, but I thought about it for a second, was Tay Conti too.
I was thinking that because I know she's supposed to be facing Britt Baker, and she does have great matches, but
I thought about it like after the Britt Baker match, she's just gonna go fall back off, right?
I think I put her at 1 originally, and then the way the week shook out from a couple of weeks ago, I had to switch my numbers up.
For sure, man. Yeah, I think that's it, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, just make sure you direct all your DMs at Mac Low.
I was going to ask you guys. I was going to ask you guys this because I feel like
it's Brian's fault that Bianca is not number one.
It is.
She's number one in our hearts. God damn it.
It is. I don't feel very good culturally right now. I was going to ask, do we want to make a tag team list?
That might be a little bit.
Do you want to just do top 5?
Or do you want to do 10? You making it even harder for doing a top 5.
Because I was thinking,
maybe I don't know. Maybe
next week,
it's a lot.
Next week we'll have our small discussion about like who's replacing Brock Lesnar off the men's list, right? But it might not be as like long as this discussion was. And if we wanted to put together a top 5,
well, I don't know, Brian. There's news that he ended up getting officially drafted to SmackDown. So
he's relevant.
Yeah, he's actually on the roster. So yeah, I heard, but it's weird though because other people like Bailey is still undrafted. I'm like, is it because you're not active or what's going on with that? Because dude, I mean, it's
gonna make a pop up.
I was gonna say when she does, she might be on this list for sure.
Oh, but I would probably just based off personality alone, Bailey would probably be at least top 4.
If they don't announce the return of Bailey and they just let her pop back up, then she immediately takes the 9 or the 10 off excitement.
Yeah,
because it's hard to see. Like when I look at the top 5, I don't know whose spot she would knock off. Maybe a Becky Lynch, possibly.
Let's do this then. If somebody's listened to this podcast and listened all the way through and thinks we should do a tag team list, let us know. This is a test to see who's listening all the way through this podcast. If nobody gets back to us, we won't.
It's funny because in my head I'm like, or we could put out a poll on social media to see if this is what they want. I'm like, oh, we're trying to get some market research.
Yeah, we could do that too. I don't know because like to be honest,
we're gonna have to because nobody's listening.
It's like we got the clip popping. You know what I'm saying? Drawing them in.
We could maybe like wait till next Friday, and if no one's gone back to us, we'll just be like, all right, let's put the poll up to see if anybody really cares. And then
we'll do that way.
Yeah. Because we could come up with
because we got. I was gonna say we got. Yeah, it's just for me. I'm like,
sure.
I'm like, oh, the Dark Order's been on TV lately, but not as a tag team. They've been doing a lot of four-mans. You know what I mean? You got to think about it. Obviously, like, you got guys like Lucha Bros, Young Bucks, New Day, RK Bro.
I feel like I'm put RK Bro,
Street
but I love
Profits.
the New Day, and then I'm gonna be having an on culture day again.
So that means her business number one. Bet. Lock it in. Lock it in.
Her-
Oh man. But yeah, man, that's pretty much the show. I want to thank y'all, all of you guys, for watching this far. Let us know if you think we should rank the tag teams, because this definitely has been fun, man. Giving us more discussion points in our episodes and stuff like that. Being able to talk real time about what's going on within the climate of not only just professional wrestling, but both, different companies and all that stuff. So
and the cool thing about the tag team one, if a tag team breaks up, they have to come off the list no matter where their spot was.
They're like, sorry, Randy, yoink.
Yep.
Like, yeah, sorry,
kid, bro.
Yeah, sorry, guy. Sorry, AJ Styles. Almost turned on you. Can't do it no more.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm down for that for sure, man. Like I said, we already had a good time doing the women's and the men's flow chart top 10. So definitely hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you're not already, follow us doing everything that we're doing, man. That's at Flow Wrestling Show on Instagram and at Flow Wrestling Pod on Twitter. By the way, apparently WWE does not allow you to post footage from your own cell phones anymore, because remember I went to SmackDown. I woke up trying to check something on Twitter, and it said that my account was locked, and I was emailed something about the DMC Copyright Act. I'm like, what the fuck? I look, and it's my footage sitting in the hard, like I'm close, but I'm filming the finish of the Finn Balor Sami Zayn match for the King of the Ring. And they're flagging it, saying, oh, they're using our material with the unauthorized. I'm like, bitch, this is my cell phone. This is like, I filmed this, like, nobody stopped me. They watched me do this. So how far does this go now? You know what I mean? I used to think Tony Khan was bad. I don't post anything AEW anymore. If I do, I got to sprinkle some shit around it so they don't find it. But I don't know what's going on, man. Anyways, we're back and reinstated, so you can definitely hit us up on Twitter. It's been a Flow Show, man. Follow all of us, man, at Quincy Jones Go, at Mac Low, and at Brian Andrew _. Of course, if you are a Clippers fan like Wyndham Rotunda, as well as myself and Brian Andrew, you can always follow at LA Clips Forum right now for a podcast getting to everything Clippers related, wins, losses, sacrifices.
A lot of losses right now.
It's a passion. It's a labor of love. You know what I mean? You got to really love what you're doing. But anything you got to promote, Lo? You good? I mean, I see you got your Baltimore hat on. just right for the Ravens.
Well, speaking of losses, Jesus.
I mean, I didn't want to. Are you good? You want to talk about it?
I'll be all right. We'll bounce back.
You may have to do like a Ravens podcast or something. We'll see how that goes, man. But until next week, man. This has been For the Love of Wrestling. It's the Flow Show. We out. Peace.